Alright, let's go ahead and look at number 13. Let's look at the GCF. The GCF means the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. Okay, so the greatest common factor basically means what I can take out. So let's go ahead and expand again. We're going to have to get used to expanding because this is just going to help us see everything for what it is. So we're going to expand each term. So the first term is negative x to the third y. So it's going to be negative 1, and I have 3 x's. Remember, this is all multiplication times y. So that went there. The second one, I'm going to bring down the negative. So that's going to be a negative 1 times 2 times 3 times x times y. And then my last one, this one's a little bit tricky, is going to be positive 1 times 3 times 3 times x times y. It's going over into the other problem. That's fine. So they all have in common a y. They all have in common 1x. And they all have in common a 1. But this right here is a negative 1. But this right here is going to be negative 1 times a negative 1. So that can be expanded even further. Because remember, a negative times a negative, positive times a positive equals a positive, and a negative times a negative equals a positive. So it's this that we're looking at right here. So if I take out my common factors, I'm going to underline them. I know they're highlighted, but we still want to underline them. I'm going to have negative 1 xy. So that's going to leave me with x squared. Remember, we changed the sign because we factored out the negative. So that's why it's positive. That's going to be positive 6x. And then what's left over here, we change the sign. It's going to be negative 9. So CF is equal to negative 1xy, which is negative xy. Okay. 14, we're going to expand so that we can factor. So we can see what they have in common. So we're going to find it's basically what factoring is. U1 times 5 times t times t, 5t squared, plus, I'm going to factor this 25t, 1 times 5 times 5 times t. Always remember they're going to have the 1. Let's circle what they have in common. I have a t here, a 5, and a 5. So that means I'm going to take out 5t. Whatever is left over, I'm going to put into this binomial. So I'm going to have t, I didn't change the sign, plus 5. So this is going to be the factored form of 5t squared plus 25t. Okay. Number 15, what are the properties of parallel lines? The symbol for parallel lines is 2 slanted lines. And the properties are same slope, different y-intercepts. And in this case, we're going to use y equals mx plus b. This is my slope, and this is my y-intercept. Okay, and for our examples, I'm just going to give one set. Y equals -3x plus 4. The line parallel, so this means y1, y2 will be -3x minus 1. And the slopes are the same, and they check out, so those two lines are parallel. Okay, number 16, what are the properties of perpendicular lines? The symbol for perpendicular lines is a right angle, so this is 90 degrees. That's what perpendicular means. And the properties, so we're going to talk about slopes are opposite, they are opposite reciprocals. Also, they can have different y-intercepts. So when they cross, they make a T, which means that I'm going to have a 90-degree angle here, 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 and here. So it's going to be 90 degrees all the way around. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our example. So y1 is going to equal 5/8x plus 2, and the perpendicular line for y2 will be I want to look at the slope. So the slopes are opposite reciprocals. So if I have a positive, that means I want to have a negative. So it means opposite signs. So this is going to be a positive, so I want to say negative. Reciprocal means to flip. Eight over 5. And then the rest will be the same, so x, let's just say 6. These slopes are opposite reciprocal. That's basically it. Number 17, find the solution to the system of linear equations graphed below. So linear means line. So these are lines. And then we want to find the solution. Solution basically means where they intersect. And lines intersect, and it's typically an ordered pair. So the lines intersect right here. It's going to be that little dot. So it's going to be -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the point of intersection is going to be -1, 4. Remember, we go x-axis and then y-axis. It's the same concept. This right here is where it intersects by x-axis and then y-axis. So I say 3. That's going to be 3, 4. and it's just the point of intersection. Number 19, I'm just going to highlight. I'm going to give you some suggestions. Just to review, this is the pre-image, and then this is the image. So I have E, F, G, H. Transitions to E prime, F prime, G prime, and H prime. What you're going to want to do is get your ordered pairs all the way down and see how they change. And that's going to give you your transformation. That's what we're looking for here. So you want to look for the transformation. So this is the pre-image, and then it becomes the image. So again, pre-image, P-R-E, and then image. Okay? And you want to look at the ordered pairs for all of these. Okay, we're just going to do number 20 on this one. So we're looking at number 20. It says use the figure below to answer questions 20 and 21. So if 75 students responded, how many students' favorite soda would be Sprite? Sprite is right here. So if we look at all of these, we need to find out what this one is. So this is going to be, a percent is from 100. So 100 minus 30 is going to give me 70. 70 minus 24 is going to give me 46. And then 46 minus 16, this is from the Coca-Cola, this is from the Sprite, and this is from the Dr. Pepper. And this is out of 100%. It's going to give me 30. So I want to know that this for sure is 30%. Now if we look at the problem again, it says 75 students responded. If 75 students responded, how many students' favorite soda is Sprite? So this is 24, so percent means per 100. So we can make this into a fraction. So I don't know how many students out of 75 I have, so we're going to make that the variable x. Okay, so x is going to be the favorite soda Sprite. We're going to look at, out of 100, we know that Sprite was 24. So per 100, we can make it 24. So 75 times 24. So 100 times x, we're going to cross multiply, or that's what we're doing right here. And then right here, you're going to solve for x. And we're just setting this up for you, and I'll let y'all solve on your own.